Imagine this. The aroma of freshly baked chocolate chip biscuits fills your kitchen. You've poured your heart into creating the perfect batch, each one golden brown and studded with melting chocolate. You carefully arrange the warm biscuits on a cooling rack, a tempting display of your culinary creation. The anticipation is building as you decide to let them cool just enough before indulging in their deliciousness. You step out of the kitchen for just a moment, perhaps to answer a phone call or grab a quick drink. The biscuits are left unattended, a silent promise of a sweet treat awaiting your return. But when you return, a startling discovery awaits you. Some of the biscuits are missing. The once full cooling rack now bears noticeable gaps, a clear sign that someone has been helping themselves. You know for a fact that your brother, with his notorious sweet tooth, couldn't resist the temptation and ate 2 of the warm biscuits. He confessed with a guilty grin, chocolate smudged on his cheek. After the brotherly biscuit bandits raid, you count the remaining biscuits. To your dismay, only 7 biscuits remain on the rack. The mystery deepens. Who else could have been pilfering your precious treats? The central question looms large. How many biscuits did your sister, who also has a fondness for sweets, manage to sneak away while you were out of the room? This is a classic case, a real-life puzzle begging to be solved. This is precisely where the power of algebra steps in to save the day. It's not just about abstract equations and complicated formulas, it's a practical tool that can unravel everyday mysteries like this one. Algebra isn't just some arcane knowledge reserved for math geniuses and academics. It's a universally accessible skill that empowers anyone to solve problems and make sense of the world around them. It's a powerful tool for finding missing information, for piecing together incomplete data, and for bringing clarity to situations that seem shrouded in uncertainty. Think of it as detective work, where you gather clues, analyze the evidence, and use logic to deduce the truth. Each piece of information is a vital part of the puzzle. You have some clues like the initial number of biscuits and your brother's confession, but you're missing a crucial piece of the story, your sister's biscuit consumption. We can transform this biscuit conundrum into a mathematical puzzle, a challenge that algebra is perfectly equipped to handle. Let's translate the situation into an equation. We started with 12 delicious biscuits, and then we subtract the 2 that your brother shamelessly devoured. Now, we subtract x, which represents the unknown number of biscuits your sister took, and that leaves us with a final count of 7 biscuits. That mysterious x is the key to unlocking the solution. It represents the quantity we're trying to discover, the missing piece of the puzzle. In the language of algebra, we call it a variable, a symbol that stands in for an unknown value. Variables are the building blocks of algebraic equations. Algebra provides us with a systematic and reliable method to isolate and determine the value of x, rather than relying on guesswork or intuition. It's all about employing logical reasoning to fill in those gaps in our knowledge, to connect the dots and reveal the hidden answer. With algebra, we can confidently solve mysteries, whether they involve missing biscuits or more complex challenges. So, let's revisit our equation. 12, the original number of biscuits. 2, brother's share. X, sister's share, = 7, remaining biscuits. First we simplify the equation by combining the known numbers, 10, x = 7. Now, to isolate x and find its value, we rearrange the equation, x = 10 minus 7. Performing the subtraction, we arrive at the solution, x = 3. See? With a little algebraic thinking, you've successfully solved a real-life problem and uncovered the truth behind the missing biscuits. Algebra isn't confined to textbooks and classrooms. It's a ubiquitous tool that permeates every aspect of our daily lives. Think of it as your personal invitation, a welcoming gesture to unlock the hidden mathematical dimensions of the world around you. It's your chance to embrace your inner maths detective, to sharpen your problem-solving skills, and to approach challenges with confidence and analytical thinking. So, are you ready to embrace the power of algebra and crack more mysteries, big and small, that life throws your way? The adventure awaits. To understand algebra, let's travel back in time. Ancient Babylonians and Egyptians used early algebra to solve practical problems, dividing land, building pyramids, and storing grain. The Greeks, like Diophantus, advanced algebra by using symbols for unknowns. The word algebra comes from the Arabic al-jabr, thanks to the Persian mathematician al-Khwarizmi, whose work also gave us the word algorithm. Algebra's roots are global, stretching across cultures and centuries. When you solve for x, you're joining a tradition thousands of years old. It's a story of human curiosity and the quest to solve puzzles. Ever flipped through a maths book and felt like you were reading a foreign language? All those symbols, equations, and letters? It can be a bit overwhelming at first glance. Well, let's demystify those letters. They're called variables. Think of them as placeholders for unknown numbers. They're like empty boxes waiting to be filled with the right value. They represent a quantity we haven't yet discovered. Remember our biscuit mystery? X stood for the number of biscuits your sister took. It was a mystery until we solved for X. But variables are more than just mystery solvers. They let us write flexible rules that apply to many different situations. For example, imagine you're planning a party and want to give each guest 3 balloons. You know each guest gets 3, but you don't know how many guests are coming yet. So, you write 3G, where G represents the number of guests. This is where the power of variables truly shines. If G equals sign 10, meaning you have 10 guests, you need 30 balloons. If G equals sign 20, meaning 20 guests, you need 60. See how the variable allows us to easily adjust the calculation? Variables help us create formulas that work for any number, any situation. They provide a general framework that we can adapt to specific cases. Take the area of a rectangle, for instance. The formula is a equal sign L, X, W, A, L, and W are all variables. A represents the area, L the length, and W the width. Letters in maths aren't scary at all, they're just symbols for numbers we're trying to find, clues in a mathematical mystery. Using variables turns maths into a language, a way to express relationships and solve problems in a clear and concise way. It's a language for solving all kinds of problems, from simple everyday calculations to complex scientific equations. It's the first step into a bigger world of mathematical thinking, opening doors to new concepts and possibilities. Next time you see a letter in a problem, remember it's not something to be afraid of. It's just a question waiting for your answer, a puzzle waiting to be solved. What letter would you use for the number of hours you sleep each night? Maybe H for hours? Variables make maths powerful and universal, allowing us to express ideas that apply across different cultures and contexts. Ready to see where they live and how they help us unlock the secrets of the universe? Variables live inside equation statements that say two things are equal. The equal sign is like a balanced scale, both sides must match. Let's revisit our biscuit problem 10, x equals sign 7. To solve, we want to get x by itself. Subtract 7 from 10, x equals sign 3. Equations are all about balance. If you add or subtract on one side, do the same on the other. Imagine a scale x plus 2 equals 5. Remove 2 from both sides and you get x equals sign 3. This golden rule keeps equations true. Whether you're adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing, always do it to both sides. That's how you uncover the value of the unknown. Equations are promises of equality, respect the balance, and you'll always find the answer. This method works for any equation, no matter how tricky it looks. Algebra is about keeping things fair and balanced. With practice, solving equations becomes second nature. Ready for the ultimate treasure hunt? Let's go! Solving for x in an algebraic equation is like embarking on a thrilling treasure hunt. Imagine yourself as a mathematical detective, armed with your wits and a keen eye for detail. The unknown variable, x, is the hidden treasure, and the equation is your map. Your ultimate goal is to isolate the variable, to get x all by itself on one side of the equation. Think of it as finding the exact location of the treasure on your map. To achieve this, you'll need to use inverse operations. These are like the secret tools in your treasure hunting kit, designed to undo whatever operations are currently affecting x. Addition becomes subtraction, multiplication turns into division, and so on. It's all about reversing the process. Let's look at an example. X plus 8 equals 15. In this equation, x is being added to 8 and the result is 15. To isolate x, we need to undo the addition of 8. We do this by subtracting 8 from both sides of the equation. This gives us x equals sign 7. Remember, whatever you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other to maintain balance. Now, it's crucial to check your answer to make sure it's correct. Substitute 7 back into the original equation. 7 plus 8 equals 15. It works. We've successfully solved for x and found our treasure. Now let's consider a situation where the variable is multiplied. For example, 4x equals sign 20. This means 4 times x equals 20. To isolate x in this case, we need to undo the multiplication by 4. We do this by dividing both sides of the equation by 4. This gives us x equals sign 5. And of course, we must always check our answer. Substitute 5 back into the original equation. 4 times 5 equals 20. It checks out. The process is simple. Undo each operation one step at a time. carefully reversing each mathematical action that's affecting x, always keeping the equation balanced. Remember, an equation is like a scale, and whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other to maintain equilibrium. No matter how complicated an equation might appear at first glance, just peel away the layers, one operation at a time, until x stands alone, revealing its true value. This method of using inverse operations works for subtraction, multiplication, division, anything. No matter the operation, the principle remains the same: undo it to isolate x. Each step brings you closer to the answer, bringing you closer to uncovering the hidden value of x. Algebra is a logical, step-by-step hunt for the solution, a systematic approach to unraveling the mysteries of equations. So with this knowledge in hand, what would you do to solve the equation x minus 100 equals 50? Take a moment to think about it. That's right, add 100 to both sides of the equation. This will cancel out the minus 100 on the left side, leaving you with x equals sign 150. Every equation is a puzzle you can solve, a challenge that can be overcome with the right tools and a little bit of logical thinking. The more you practice these techniques, the easier it gets to spot the right moves and solve for x with confidence. So, are you ready to spot algebra hiding in plain sight in the real world, ready to use your new skills to solve problems and unlock new possibilities? Algebra isn't just for school, it's everywhere. Shopping for a sale? If a jacket is 25% off and now costs £60, you can use algebra to find the original price. Cooking? Scaling a recipe up or down is an algebraic equation. Planning your day? Working backwards from a deadline uses algebraic thinking. From comparing phone plans to saving for a game, algebra helps you make smart decisions. It's the logic behind everyday problem solving. The more you look, the more you'll see it. When did you last use algebra without realizing? Algebra is a workout for your brain. It teaches you to break big problems into smaller steps, an essential life skill. You learn precision and order, and the value of double-checking your work. Programmers, engineers, and artists all use algebraic thinking to spot patterns and solve problems creatively. Algebra builds logical, flexible minds ready for any challenge. Even if you never solve a big equation again, the thinking skills stay with you. It's not about memorizing formulas, it's about building a powerful mind. How could breaking a problem into steps help you this week? Want to get better at algebra? Here are some tips. Ask questions. Curiosity is key. Practice regularly. The more you do, the easier it gets. Start with simple problems, then try harder ones. Connect maths to real life. Calculate discounts, scale recipes, or make up your own problems. Don't fear mistakes, they're learning opportunities. When you get something wrong, figure out why. Every error is a clue that makes you better. Keep going, and you'll get stronger with every problem you solve. Algebra is a journey. Enjoy the ride. We've solved mysteries, traveled through history, and learned the language of algebra. The most important lesson? You can do this. Algebra is for everyone. Your brain is built for problem solving. With practice, the rules become second nature. Don't see equations as problems, see them as puzzles to crack. Embrace the logic, respect the balance, and enjoy the hunt for solutions. Algebra unlocks answers in maths and in life. The power to solve, understand, and build is yours. Now go out and use your new skills. Maths is your superpower. Use it well.